Okay, Assalamualaikum. Alright, so for the second part of MFRS138, we're going to cover from step 5 until step 8, which is the first one. Step 5 is initial measurement. So initially, all the intangible assets must be measured and recorded at cost. So you have to bear in your mind that initially must be based at cost. But what is cost? Okay, so cost is equivalent to purchase price plus capital expenditures. That's it. It's very simple, just like investment property. So any capital expenditures will be added up to the purchase price, so it will become the cost of the intangible asset. However, cost of intangible asset will be determined depending on the situations. So basically, there are 4 situations here. The first one is separate acquisition. Second one, acquisition as part of a business combination. The third one, acquisition by way of a government grant. And last but not least, exchange of assets. Okay, we go through the first one, separate acquisition. So cost comprises its purchase price, including import duties and non-refundable purchase taxes and any direct cost incurred in preparing the assets for its intended use. So senang nak cakapnya, cost sama dengan purchase price plus import duties if there is any, and non-refundable purchase taxes and any direct costs. Okay, any direct costs. So any direct costs will be considered as capital expenditure. So purchase price plus capital expenditure, then you will get the real cost of your intangible asset. Okay, let's look at the first example of separate acquisition. So on 1st January 2014, Hashtag Berhad acquired the prototype design at a cost of 500,000 ringgit and a legal life of 20 years. So the question here is, should the above asset be classified as MFRS 138? If so, then what will be the treatment for its measurement? So the question asks you whether prototype design can be classified as intangible asset, and if you think that prototype design can be classified as intangible asset under MFRS 138, what will be the treatment for its measurement? So the question here asks you, what is the initial measurement, what's the price for that? Okay, so the solution given to you, okay, in terms of recognition, is prototype design is going to be recognized as an intangible asset under MFRS 138 because the 3 criteria is identifiable, you have the control over the asset, and there will be future economic benefits. And how about the measurement, initial measurement? Initially will be measured at cost, which is 500,000 ringgit, but you have to remember, you need to also to mention about the legal life of 20 years. So the legal life of 20 years means that you're going to amortize the intangible asset, okay, for 20 years. As simple as that. Alright, okay. The next example you read on your own. I think that also is quite familiar with the first example earlier on. Okay, now let's move on to the business combination. So for business combination, the cost is the fair value at the date of acquisition. So for example, if you acquire the intangible asset on January 1st to 2020, so you need to determine what is the fair value of that particular intangible asset on January 1st, 2020. Okay, so initially it will be measured at fair value, not at cost. It's different. Okay, so what does it means by fair value? Fair value is the market price in an active market. So you have to determine what is the fair value. So the fair value is the price at the active market. However, if no active market exists, fair value is the amount of the company is willing to pay on the acquisition date in arm's length transaction between knowledgeable and willing parties based on available information. Senang nak cerita kat sini. Fair value, you kena tentukan bila mana ada active market. Maksudnya harga pasaran boleh ditentukan bila ada urusan jual beli yang sangat aktif pada kawasan tertentu. Okay. Tetapi andai kata tiada orang kata active market ataupun transaction yang katakanlah urusan jual beli yang aktif berlaku pada kawasan tersebut, what you guys can do is you need to have negotiation between the parties, between your company with the parties that you're going to absorb their, or maybe you're going to take over their intangible asset, and it must be at arm's length transaction. Arm's length transaction means that you don't have any related or connection with that company or with that person, not your brothers, not your siblings, not your family members or whatsoever. And between knowledgeable and willing parties, there must be willingness. Okay, based on available information. Based on available information means that katakan pada tahun ni 2020 there is no active market exist in that particular area anymore. However, in 2019 masih lagi aktif. So based on information daripada tahun lepas, you boleh buat anggaran. Okay, so that is it. Okay, if you look at the example, the next example on business combination. Okay, so basically this one is on page 539 and 530 on your textbook. Okay, the acquirer should recognize an asset separately from goodwill and in process research and development R&D project of the acquiree if the project meets the definition of an intangible asset and its fair value can be measured reliably. So it's already mentioned here that it meets the definition of intangible asset, and also the fair value can be measured reliably means that there is an active market exists in that area, although the project may not be separable from the business as a whole. So there is a a project which a company handle at one particular area, and you can determine the goodwill, which is the intangible asset, because you can measure the fair value reliably. Okay, and then the next one regarding the example on LM Ben Berhad and SP Ben Berhad, you may refer to your textbook on page 534. Okay, 534. Okay, now let's proceed with the next situation, which is government grant. Okay, the government grants means that the grants by the government will be recorded at fair value. So it's quite similar with the business combination earlier on. So it will be recorded at fair value or nominal amount plus any direct expenses incurred in preparing the asset for its intended use. So fair value or nominal amount plus any direct expenses. Any direct expenses means that your capital expenditure. Okay, for example, what are the examples of government grant? What are the grants that the government will give to someone or to the company? Okay, the first one will be in terms of airport landing rights. Okay, hak penyelenggaraan airport. Okay, second one, licenses to operate radio or television stations. For example, Mira Prima, they also get the grant from the government. ISRO as well. The third one, import licenses or quotas. Okay, AP, I can't remember what AP stands for, but AP is for company yang nak jual kereta mewah, selalunya kereta daripada overseas. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, NASA ada buat NASA company. Rights to access other restricted resources, for example mining or oil and gas areas. Okay, if you look at example 4, Syarikat Federal has been granted a license from Perak government to operate mining quarry for a 5 years period in Bido on September 1st, 2014. The fair value of license was 5 million ringgit. So you're going to recognize the license as an intangible asset because it is identifiable, it's controllable, also it has future economic benefits to the entity. And how are you going to measure a license given by Perak government to Syarikat Federal for mining quarry? Initially, it will be measured at fair value of 5 million ringgit, and it's going to be amortized over the useful life of 5 years. That's the second point. Okay, it's going to be amortized over the useful life of 5 years, or at nominal amount plus any expenditure incurred in preparing the assets for its intended use. So that is it. It's very simple, it's very clear cut. Okay, straightforward. Okay, there is no playing around the bushes apa semua. Okay, the last situation is exchange of assets. Okay, for exchange of assets, okay, the cost of intangible asset also will be measured at fair value. So meaning to say that the exchange of asset will be based on fair value. However, if the intangible asset is lack of commercial substance or the fair value is unable to be measured reliably, then the cost will be measured at the carrying amount of intangible asset given out. So what does it mean? Okay, here maksud dia, kalau exchange of asset, pertukaran aset sepatutnya berlaku, patutnya direkodkan at fair value. Tetapi dia kata if you cannot measure the fair value reliably, what you can do is the cost, okay, of the intangible asset in terms of exchange of asset will be measured at the carrying amount of intangible asset given out. So pada tarikh berlaku je, on the date of asset will be given out, you will determine, okay, what is the carrying amount. So you tahu carrying amount adalah net book value. So what is net book value? Net book value is cost minus accumulated depreciation. Okay, so andai kata kalau tak boleh menggunakan fair value, you akan menggunakan carrying amount. Alright. Okay, so any gain or loss is to be recognized in the SOPA. So you akan fill up lah this one. Kalau gain, you akan masuk dalam revenue. So debit apa, credit apa. So kalau loss, you akan masuk dalam expenses. But in the same statement of profit or loss and comprehensive income and other comprehensive income. So you're going to debit apa, credit apa. So you just fill out on your own. Okay, if you look at example, okay, for a stage of asset, for this one, Trijo Berhad owns a patent amounted to 1 million ringgit at carrying amount. Boleh Kut Berhad owns a textile quota at fair value amounted to 1.5 million ringgit. So 500,000 ringgit more than Trijo Berhad belonging. Trijo Berhad wants to exchange its patent. So Trijo Berhad would like to exchange its patent amounted to 1 million ringgit for the quota entitlement owned by Boleh Kut Berhad by paying additional cash of 100,000 ringgit. So should the quota entitlement owned by Boleh Kut Berhad be recognized under MFRS 138? That is the first question. And what is the accounting treatment for the exchange? So there is two questions here. So the first one is going to, in terms of the recognition, quota entitlement is going to be recognized as an intangible asset under MFRS 138. Why? Because you need to mention about the three criteria just now. The first one, it is identifiable. Second one, it is controllable. And the third one, okay, future economic benefit. So these three criteria you need to really understand so that you will remember, okay, throughout your life. And in terms of the measurement, initially it will be measured at fair value of 1.5 million ringgit. Okay, the question asks about the quota entitlement. So the quota entitlement means that the 1.5 million ringgit owned by Boleh Kut Berhad. So it will be measured at fair value of 1.5 million ringgit, and the profit of 100,000 ringgit earned will be recognized and credited to Soper, okay, of Boleh Kut Berhad. So maksudnya di sini 1.5 million ringgit will be measured at fair value, dan profit because of Treasure Berhad akan bayar additional cash of 100,000 ringgit, okay, to Boleh Kut Berhad. So it will be recognized as gain on exchange of asset, okay, of Boleh Kut Berhad. So Boleh Kut Berhad yang akan dapat additional 100,000 ringgit. Alright. Okay, the next example you can read on your own because this one is based on your textbook page 429. Okay, so that is it in terms of the initial measurement of 4 different situations. Okay, now let's move on to internally generated goodwill. Okay, MFRS 138 specifically prohibits, okay, prohibits maksud dia melarang the recognition of internally generated goodwill. Why? What are the reasons? Okay, there is two. Okay, the first one, it is not identifiable resource controlled by the entity because it's internally, meaning that the company is created the intangible asset on their own. And the second one, it cannot be measured reliably at cost. Alright, okay, let's look at example. During the economic crisis, Jokowi Berhad claimed that sales for its product handkerchief has grown steadily. Okay, I would say that this one is more to self-proclaim. Okay, dia sendiri yang kata dia punya handkerchief products, okay, of the company has grown steadily, and also Jokowi Berhad contributed this to goodwill that it has created among its leading customers around the world. Okay, the word is contributed to this goodwill that it has created among its leading customers around the world. So he wishes to incorporate the amount of goodwill in the books at 4.5 million ringgit. So in this situation, we can say that Jokowi Berhad has, I would say, positively or confidently saying that they have selling their product, which is the handkerchief, effectively, okay, with success. Okay, and also this company said that among the contribution is because of the goodwill itself, maybe because of the name of Jokowi itself. Okay, so they would like to record, okay, the goodwill of Jokowi, okay, based on the sale, on the performance of the sale of the handkerchief, okay, at 4.5 million ringgit. They simply, okay, created the amount at 4.5 million ringgit. So the solution, MFRS 138 specifically prohibits its recognition, since it is not identifiable source controlled by the entity. Furthermore, it cannot be measured reliably at cost. Hence, Djokovic shall not recognize any goodwill in the books, as internally generated goodwill shall not be recognized as an asset. So here it is wrong for Djokovic Berhad to recognize its goodwill at 4.5 million ringgit and recorded it in the statement of financial position under non-current asset. Okay, because it cannot be measured reliably at cost. Alright, that is internally generated goodwill. How about internally generated intangible assets? Okay, internally generated brands, for example, mastheads instead of the nameplate, publishing titles, customer lists, and items similar in substance cannot be recognized as intangible asset. Okay, according to MFRS138. Don't ask me why, because based on MFRS138, mentioned that internally generated. Okay, why? Okay, why? Because it's the expenditures incurred cannot be distinguished from the cost of developing and researching. Okay, it's because the expenditures incurred cannot be distinguished. You cannot be separated the expenditures from the cost of developing and researching the business as a whole. Okay, so meaning to say that only product or process development or patents from development activities shall be recognized. Okay, we look at example 8. Okay, during the year ended 31st December 2013, Nadal Berhad incurred 700,000 ringgit in acquiring customer lists, while Williams Berhad incurred 900,000 ringgit in designing mastheads for future magazines. Both companies estimated their useful lives to be at 10 years. So what is the solution? For Nadal Berhad will recognize 700,000 ringgit as an intangible asset on his statement of financial position, and recognize the amortization expense at 70,000 ringgit because 10 years. So 700,000 divided by 10 years. Okay. So however, for Williams Berhad will written off. Okay, Williams Berhad will written off the designing mastheads for future magazines, which is considered as internally generated mastheads. So straight away 900,000 will be written off in this statement of profit or loss, okay, under expenses. Okay, so you need to be careful in differentiating between internally generated intangible assets and intangible assets itself. Alright. Okay. Other internally generated intangibles that meet definition and recognition criteria can be recognized but must first be classified into the research phase and development phase. So this one, according to your textbook page 480. So for internally generated intangibles that meet the definition of intangible asset and also the recognition criteria of intangible asset can be recognized as intangible asset. Okay, but first must be divided, okay, into research phase and development phase. Alright, so for research phase, basically for research phase is the original and planned investigation undertaken with the prospect, okay, with the prospect of gaining new scientific or technical knowledge and understanding. So for research and development, normally kita pun tahu research and R&D, normally people call it R&D, adalah untuk mana kita melakukan satu kajian. When you do some research which you expect that you're going to gain new scientific or technical knowledge and understanding from your research. So accounting treatment for research will be recognized as expenses. Okay, as it is recognized as expenses, meaning that you're going to write off all the amount incurred in research phase. Okay, in the period they are incurred, because the probable future academic benefits generated by asset cannot be demonstrated, because you're still not sure whether you will get any academic benefits from your research or not. So any expenses incurred in conducting the research at this phase will be straight away written off as your expenses in the SOPR. So what are among the examples? Activities to acquire new knowledge, search for applications of research findings of other knowledge, search for process alternatives, and also formulation and design of possible new or improved product or process alternatives. Okay, for this example, okay, Intangible has been undertaking a research project to find the medicine for cancer in 2008. The total cost for the project was amounted to 12 million ringgit and was written off. In early 2014, the company has successfully started the development of the medicine. For 2014 financial statements, the company wishes to write back and capitalize the research cost of 12 million ringgit written off in the previous years. Okay, so previously, okay, Intangible has already written off the amount 12 million ringgit in their statement of profit or loss. However, when they found out that there will be future academic benefits from their research, okay, in 2014, they would like to capitalize the 12 million ringgit that they already written off previously. So what is the accounting treatment on this? Is it legally accepted or illegally accepted under MFRS? Okay, the solution given to you that the company is recommended not to capitalize the research expenditure. According to MFRS138, the research costs that have been written off in the previous year cannot be capitalized. Okay, once you have written off, you cannot capitalize the amount that already written off. Okay, it is because the research costs are written off as expense in the period they are incurred, because future benefits are not probable during the research phase. Because during that time, when you spend the money of 10 million ringgit, okay, there is still no probability that the company will get any benefits from the research conducted by Intangible. So that's why they written off the amount straight away, 12 million ringgit. Okay, however, when you started that you have the confidence that the company will gain economic benefits from the research conducted early on, you cannot simply taken out the amount that you have written off and then you capitalize the amount as part of the cost of your intangible asset. You cannot do that. Okay, so in that is research. So meaning to say that any expenses incurred at research phase, straight away you will written off. Okay, let's move on to development. Okay, the application of research findings or other knowledge into a plan or design for the production of new or substantially improved materials, devices, products, processes, system or services before the start of commercial production or use. That is the development. Okay, the development cost will be recognized as an asset if criteria met indicate cost will give rise to future academic benefits. Okay, so earlier on for research phase, we straight away write off as an expense. However, at development phase, the cost will be recognized as an asset if criteria met indicate cost will give rise to future economic benefits. Okay, specifically, MFRS 138 requires that an intangible asset arising from development or from the development phase of an internal project shall be recognized if and only if an entity can demonstrate the following: the technical feasibility of completing the intangible asset so that it will be available for use, or say its intention to complete the intangible asset and use or sell it, its ability to use or sell the intangible asset, how the intangible asset will generate probable future economic benefits, the availability of adequate technical, financial, and other resources to complete development and to use or sell the intangible asset, and lastly, its ability to measure reliably the expenditure attributable to the intangible asset during its development. So, examples of development is designs, construction, and testing of pre-production prototypes and models, design of tools, jigs, molds, and dies involving new technology, design, construction, and operation of a pilot plant that is not of a scale economically feasible for commercial production or use, design, construction, and testing of a chosen alternative for new or improved materials, devices, products, systems, or services. So basically, when you started to design, when you started to construct the products, okay, that you have did the research early on, from the day onwards, all the costs incurred in the designing and constructing your product will be capitalized. Okay, the development costs are comprised or directly attributable costs necessary to create, produce, and prepare the asset for its intended use. Means that capital expenditure, as simple as that. Okay, an example attributable cost, okay, given to you lah. Okay, to this one, I think that inshallah you can determine, okay, what are the capital expenditures that need to be added up, okay, to the cost early on. Okay, if you look at the example given to you, Yabba Berhad is undertaking research and development of olive oil-based products. The company incurred 200,000 ringgit every month in their product. Research was undertaken during the first quarter of the year. So the first quarter means that for the first 3 months. Okay, January, February, and March. Okay, the development of their new product began in May 2013, but the directors were only confident of the feasibility and success of the new product in October 2013. As on 31st December 2013, the company was still developing their new product. So, basically, this situation given to you, asking you to classify which one is going to be written off as an expense and which one will be capitalized as part of your asset, cost of your asset. Okay, the solution given to you: the research expenditure of 600,000 ringgit incurred during the first quarter of the year is recognized as an expense and would be written off against the current year's profits in SOPA. Okay, because I already mentioned to you, the company incurred 200,000 ringgit every month in their product. So research was undertaken during the first quarter of the year. So for January, February, and March, for the first 3 months, so 3 minus 200,000 amounted to 600,000. Straight away will be written off as an expense. The development expenditure of 1.2 million ringgit incurred from April until September did not meet the asset recognition criteria. Okay, even though, okay, the product started to be developed in May 2013, but the directors were only confident of the feasibility and success of the product in October 2013. So we need to say that starting from April until September, okay, even though they already started the production at development phase, but they are still not confident there is a probability that they're going to get benefits from the development. Thus, the amount of 1.2 million also will be written off. Okay, so starting from October onwards, October, November, December. So for these 3 months, okay, you're going to multiply with 200,000 ringgit every month, so you will get 600,000. So for that 600,000, yeah, starting from October, can be capitalized and deferred to the next year when the asset recognition are met. Okay, alright, so that is in terms of R&D, research and development. So you really need to understand what are the criteria and how you're going to determine. You need to draw the timeline. I think that when you draw the timeline, then you will know. Okay, for example, in this Yabadu Berhad, if you draw the timeline and then you put the timeline accordingly based on the situation given to you, then you will know how much you will be write off the amount and how much you're going to capitalize the amount. Alright. Okay, next step 6, for subsequent measurement. For subsequent measurement, you have 2 options. Either you're going to adopt cost model or regression model. So if you use cost model, it's very simple, straightforward. Cost less any accumulated amortization and any accumulated impairment losses. However, for revaluation model, it's carried at a revalued amount, being its fair value at the date of the revaluation less any subsequent accumulated amortization and any subsequent accumulated impairment losses. You have to remember that for cost model just now, cost minus accumulated amortization and accumulated impairment. So there is 2 here. Okay, amortization and impairment. Same goes to the revaluation model. Revaluation model, you will be carried at revalued amount. What is revalued amount? It's fair value at the date of revaluation less any accumulated amortization and any accumulated impairment losses. Alright. So the standard clarifies that revaluation model does not allow the revaluation of tangible assets that have not previously been recognized as an asset. So let's say that previously, let's say that in 2019 you have not recognized that asset as an intangible asset. However, in 2020 you would like to recognize that asset as your intangible asset. You cannot do that. Okay, as simple as that. You cannot do that. And then the initial recognition of tangible assets at amounts other than their cost. Okay, for example, an internally generated brand that has not been previously recognized as an asset shall not be revalued for recognition as an asset. Straightforward. Okay, and you may look at example 17 on page 585 of your textbook regarding the Perta Berhad. Also in terms of revaluation surplus and decrease on revaluation. Okay, so for in terms of the useful life of the intangible assets, okay, I think that you have been exposed to finite useful life as well as indefinite useful life. So for finite useful life means that the length of or number of production or similar units constituting that useful life. Okay. So finite useful life is limited to the legal right period or their usefulness to the entity is eventually diminished by economic factors. Okay, an intangible asset with finite useful life should be amortized on a systematic basis over its useful life. So finite useful life maksud dia ada tarikh tempoh dah, jangka hayat dia. Okay, ataupun sebelum tamat jangka hayat ni dia akan musnah, diminish by economic factors. Okay, mungkin sebelum tu pun lagi dia dah orang kata dah tak ada value. Alright. So if you look at example given to you, On 1st January 2012, Cornell Berhad acquired a trademark at a cost of 8 million ringgit with a legal life of 10 years. On 1st January 2014, Cornell Berhad reviewed the useful life, and it was revealed that the future economic benefits from the trademark will extend for another 4 years. Furthermore, the recoverable amount of the trademark on this date was determined to be 6 million ringgit. Okay, the solution given to you on 1st January 2012. Okay, it will be treated as intangible asset. Okay, it will be treated as intangible asset under MFRS138. Okay, it meets the criteria of initial recognition of an intangible asset and is measured at the initial cost of 8 million ringgit. Okay, the current amount of 6.4 million ringgit is higher than the recoverable amount of 6 million ringgit. Thus, an impairment loss of 400,000 ringgit is recognized. So beginning 2014, the useful life of 4 years, okay, of 4 years would be the amortization period for the intangible asset. Alright, that's that. So as at 1st January 2014, the amortization will be based on the new current amount of 6.4 million ringgit and the amortization period of 4 years. Hence, the amortization span for 2014 and onwards will be 1.6 million ringgit. So given to you the journal entries for the year ended 31st December 2014. Okay, you're going to debit impairment loss for 400,000 and you're going to credit intangible asset, which is your trademark. Intangible asset and then you dash trademark. You cannot, if you write intangible asset only, okay, in your test or in your final exam, okay, I would say that you will get at least half mark for that. So it's not going to get full mark because, as I mentioned earlier on, many times that companies, they do have more than one intangible asset. Okay, and debit amortization expense and credit intangible asset also trademark 1.5 million ringgit. Okay, 6 million ringgit divided by 4 years, so you will get 1.5 million ringgit. Okay, that is finished useful life, which is you have the useful life jangka hayat asset tersebut. How about if you don't have finished useful life, means that indefinite useful life. Okay, there is no foreseeable limit to the period over which the asset is expected to generate net cash flow. So it should not be amortized, and you need to do an impairment annually or whenever there is an indication of impairment. Okay, I think that you have gone through previously in FAR 210 last semester how to calculate impairment. Okay, so that is step 6. Okay, now let's move on to step 7, which is de-recognition. Intangible assets shall be de-recognized or eliminated from the statement of financial position on disposal or when no future economic benefits are expected from its use or its disposal. So it's similar with MFRS 140 investment property. Okay, so gains or losses from the de-recognition of an intangible asset, okay, shall be determined as the difference between the net disposal proceeds, if any, and the carrying amount of the asset. It also shall be recognized in SOPA, statement of profit or loss, okay, and any gains shall not be classified as revenue. Okay, so now that is it. Okay, of course, for last step, presentation and disclosure, I think that you can read on your own because I think that from step 1 until step 7. So each accounting treatment already mentioned to you where you're going to record it. Okay, either at either in statement of profit or loss, SOPA, or statement of financial position, SOP. But I think that you need to read on by yourself this one, to presentation and disclosure. Okay, so that is it. If you have any question, we're going to discuss later about this, but anything I will inform to you in the groups. Okay, so hopefully you understand about this. Please make sure that you understand about this. You may ask your friends if you have any inquiries, and if let's say that you're still not satisfied with the answer given by your friends, you're going to discuss it later on. Alright, so enjoy your life, enjoy your day, have a good day, and please stay safe. Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum.